So a good definition for a graduated commission would be your percent or dollar amount increases as you sell more product. Again, that says the percent or the dollar amount increases as you sell more product. So now if you go to your notebook, you can label this graduated commission. Today is 2/29. Happy leap year, everybody. Anybody know somebody who was born on February 29th? Who?
Remember Trinity, whatever last name is, Justin Adamczyk's girlfriend.
Yes, she was born today? So what is she, like 4? That's fun. Okay. All right, so we'll say we're going to write one story problem. We're going to write every single word, so write with me. Each month, Jessica gets 4% of her first $10,000 in sales. $7% of the next 10,000. And we'll say she gets 15% of any sales over 20,000. So that says each month, Jessica gets 4% of her first $10,000 in sales, 7% of the next 10,000, and 15% of any sales over 20,000. And we're going to say this month, she sold $42,750 in equipment. So the question is, how much money does she get? This is very much like tax brackets. Has anybody ever heard their parents talk about tax brackets? And like being worried about being pushed to the next tax bracket? Because once you make more money on a certain threshold, you get taxed a higher percent. It's like graduated taxes. They keep going up. But something that people do not understand generally in the public is like, suppose that my tax money increases once I hit $70,000, okay? What that means is that everything up to $70,000 is still taxed at the lower rate. Just this amount that goes over the $70,000 gets taxed at the higher rate. So if I make $71,000, I'm not being taxed the higher rate on all $71,000, just that extra $1,000 that goes over that amount. So it's not as big of a deal in that sense. So first, we're going to break up her salary. We're going to break up the first $10,000. And then the next $10,000. And then how much money does she have? How much money did she sell that's more than $20,000? 22,000, how much? 750. just so that everybody can do that math for themselves, everybody take in your calculator 42,750 and then subtract $10,000 and then subtract $10,000 again, and you're at 22,750 is how much she makes in that last tax bracket, or not tax bracket, but sales bracket. So what percentage does she get for her first $10,000? 4. So I'm going to write times by 0.04. And her next one? 7%. And her final one? 15. Notice that she didn't get 15% of sales on the whole thing, just on the stuff that went over 20 grand. Is this making sense to everybody? Okay, so now in your calculator, you're going to multiply these out. So take 10,000 times 4%. You should have gotten $400 for the first one. What'd she get for the next one? 700, and the final one? You see how she's got a big incentive to really sell a lot, right? Because once she hits that final bracket, she's making 15% on all those sales. So she's trying to really rack up this money. This is where most of her money's coming from, right? The end thing, this is called a graduated commission. So now to find out how much she made this month, we just have to add all those up. Okay. So, how do you guys feel about this? You feel like you understand graduated commission? All right, so this is the worksheet. I want you to stay with your partner for this. You're going to do part of this with your partner. Okay, we'll be right there.
Yep.
I have to explain something to them for about 1 minute, and then I'll talk to you, okay?
I just need something. I lost my 2.3.
Oh, so you need a new copy of the notes? Sure, I'll print you one.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep, okay. So, here we go. We're going to go, this whole worksheet is due tomorrow. The first 3 are ones that you already know how to do. We're jumping down to the extension part where it says 1 through 5. I just want you to look at this with me. Do you see how it says each month Lance receives a graduated commission, 8% on his first 5 grand of sales, 10% on the next 5 grand, 12% on anything over 10,000? See how that's very similar to what we just did? The questions that they ask you, look at them right now. Look at the first question. What was Lance's commission on the first 5 grand? Look up. That would have been this $400 for my example. So it's kind of like doing all the steps with you. What's Lance's commission on the next 5 grand? That would have been my $700 here. How much in sales over $10,000 did he have? That would have been this number, that 22,750. That's how much was over that max. How much commission was that? And then what was the total, was adding them all up. So these 5 questions are really just one problem where kind of all the steps are in the questions. I want you to do these 5 questions with your partner, and then you can split up for the top 3, okay? Talk through all of them together, all of them. Do not work silently next to each other. Talk through it. Go.